Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome back. Today we'll go quickly over some of these lessons on how to teach them exactly. Remember to read this part over here, inshallah. So the first lesson we start off with after the alphabet. Of course, the alphabet they should know very well. Should have it memorized. And there's the heavy letters which are colored in red. They should also be memorized. And these are called, we talked about it, حروف المفخمة or al-musta'liya. And there's also six throat letters which they should memorize. These are really important because they'll help later on once they become more advanced. So go through these inshallah. Some of the sounds may not be exactly correct from English transliteration, so just be careful about that and be like a guide. So for example, alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha. خاء دال ذال راء ذاء سين شين صاد ضاد طاء ظاء عين غين ثاء قاف كاف لام ميم noon, wow, ha, hamza, ya. Kids should be able to read this backwards, up, down, with ease before they go on to the next lesson. You can talk about this a little bit. I'm not sure if this will be of too much benefit for the younger kids, but let them have them memorize these specific letters, which are the heavy letters. خص ضاد قذ in other ways and formats we've learned. There's seven here, okay? And then the throat letters, of course, six, different parts of the throat. And then we go to the makharij of all the other letters. Um, this is yani to support you in teaching them how to pronounce the letters if they're not able to pronounce it just by following you. But the main method that you should employ, of course, is that you read the letter first and then they read it after you, and they should, you should remind them to read it exactly like you as the teacher. Okay, so once they've memorized all of this, you're going to take a quick test from them about the. You can ask them about the Makharij, ask them about how to read this letter, what's the difference, and as teachers, you should know the difference between specific letters like ta and dal and ta. They come from the same makhraj, but they have different sounds. So as a teacher, you should know the difference between this. I'm not going to go into the details over here, of course. And the same thing with these other groups. You can find that they're either the same place of makhraj or nearby place of makhraj, and you should be able to understand yourself in order to help the student understand why they are different or how they are different so that they don't mix it up when they read it. Qaf and kaf, they don't read it the same way, of course, and with other letters as well. Throughout the book, you'll see that the heavy letters are highlighted quite a lot because we want them to focus on these to make sure that the way you pronounce these letters are different from the other ones. Of course, you have a full mouth. You raise the back of your tongue in order to allow the heaviness to come in. Um, so try and make sure that happens. For example, kha, qaf, ta, za, not ta, not za. Of course, you're gonna hear different sounds from the students, so make sure that you go and fix that for them. And of course, this is the next lesson. If they're done knowing it in order, the alphabet, it's time for them to get tested on it in random order and focus on their pronunciation and their fluency here and follow the rules up here, inshallah. You want them to be able to read it in one breath, one line in one breath. This should be forward in one breath and backward in one breath. That's how you know that they're good in this lesson before you go on to the next lesson. And they can also practice this at home, of course. Um, when you get to the short form over here, lesson 4, as you can see, we're quickly going through it, so please pay attention, inshallah. This is really important for the students to know before they learn anything about Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. They need to become accustomed to what letters will look like in different places. In the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, and then what? In the end of a word. So this is what it kind of shows you. Ba in the beginning, ba in the middle, ba in the end, ta in the beginning, ta in the end, ta in the end here. That in the middle, that in the beginning, that in the middle, that in the end. And the same can be applied throughout. So, of course, as a teacher, you're going to first explain this concept to them. and maybe you'll take it one line or two lines per class. Or maybe if you think they're able to take all of it, take all of it. But this is going to take perhaps a couple of classes for them to perfect, especially this practice part over here. And then once they're done that, you'll come to the next part, which is 3 pages, where it'll take you throughout the whole alphabet, where I'll put the letter in different positions. So alif over here will be put in the end. It'll be put in the end in the middle. Everyone knows what it looks like in the beginning. It looks like this. Ba in the middle, over here. Ba in the beginning, in the end. Of course, they didn't correctly highlight the right letter here. The same thing for the rest of them. So you're gonna, of course, help them the first time and let them read it in front of you maybe 10 times each line, and then you can test them individually. So testing them individually after they do it as a group is very important to see who's actually gaining the knowledge and who's left behind. And if someone's left behind, you can definitely put someone who's a little bit more advanced to help them catch up. And that's something you have to find out in your class. As a teacher, you have to be aware about your differing levels of students, even if you're all going through this together. Some people they catch it quickly, some people they don't. And then we'll talk about Fatha inshallah in the next video. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.